Hello, talking for Joshi Anime Curious. My name is RandomSama613 and welcome to Anime Opinions. This week I'm going to talk about an anime that just ended recently and it has probably been one of my favorite animes to watch every week, and that is Nagi-Asu or A Lull in the Sea. I've talked about this series a lot, and I've mentioned it a lot, and I hope that people have been watching it as a result because it was a fantastic series. I said all the way back in my first impressions in fall 2013 when I talked about this series and I talked about Keikai no Kanata, that those are my two favorite series from just the first episode. And Nagi stayed that way all the way up to the end, all the way up to the final episode that I watched. And it was a great ride the entire time. It was a perfectly crafted drama series is what it was. It was paced perfectly, the characters were all relatable and interesting. There wasn't a single bad episode. I would say that there were some minor episodes that were kind of not as good, but there was no downside of this series, and it was so good. Like I said, perfectly executed, absolutely flawlessly executed, I would almost argue. It looked gorgeous. The animation was fantastic. PA Works did an excellent job. I mean, especially I would point to the eyes. Their eyes just looked gorgeous. In addition to their eyes, the backgrounds were great. I'm going to borrow a term and say that there was a lot of background porn in this. And just all the backdrops were gorgeous. And everything just looked really, really clean and really, really just crisp and sharp. And it just looks fantastic. I'd also say that the entire soundtrack, both openings, both endings, all the background and mood music fit the series perfectly. They were all really good, they were all really well composed, and just, they fit so well and they worked really, really well. As I mentioned earlier, all of the characters are really well done. There's no bad characters. I would argue there's some underutilized characters, minorly so, but otherwise, it was really, really well done. And the interactions between the characters is what made the series so good. The interaction between the entire group of friends was just fantastic. And then I think that at the halfway point with what they did there, just changing how those interactions worked was great. And I think that mixing it up was definitely a good way to go for the second half. And I definitely kind of agree with the steps that they took and the way that they went with the series. Even though at the time I thought it was a little jarring. I would say that the longer the series goes, the more drama occurs in Nagi. And I think, and originally, what I liked about the series was that the drama wasn't the forefront. It wasn't what was the primary focus. The primary focus was something else. And I'd have to say that as the series went on, the drama became more and more forefront. And I didn't mind because it was so well crafted and so well done. And the ending was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. And from what I can tell, it's exactly what the entire community wanted. It ended exactly how it should have. And it's a fantastic series. I highly, highly recommend that you check it out. I definitely, definitely, definitely recommend it. It is just so well done in every aspect that I can think of. And I honestly can't really think of a downside unless you don't like drama anime, in which case you're going to hate it, but that's besides the point, I would think. It is so fantastically crafted, and just, like I said, I cannot recommend this anime enough. But what did you guys think of Nagi-no-Asukara? I know that a lot of people have been watching it, but not as many as I would like. Go ahead and leave a comment down below telling me what you think about the ending or about any aspect of this series. I'd prefer that you don't leave spoilers down there, but if you have to, by all means, go ahead. If you liked the video, go ahead and throw me a like. It does help me out quite a bit. If you didn't like the video, go ahead and dislike it. But please, please leave me a comment about what you didn't like. It really, and just give me some critique. It helps me grow the channel better. If you haven't already, please by all means subscribe to my channel. I do release a video every single week. The next like 3 or 4 weeks is probably going to be a ton of first impressions spam because the new season just started. So I'm going to get all that out of the way. There's also going to be some coverage from Asukara, depending upon what they do. I believe the big screening thing is the dub for Haganai Next, which I don't necessarily know that I care about, but I may do some coverage on it anyway. But until next time, I've been RandomSama613. This has been Anime Opinions, and until then, watch more anime.